Today we're going to walk through Brightwolf ZipLine, the fastest way to get started with your AWS IoT Enterprise Buttons. So to get started, first you log into the server at the login page. And as you can see, I've already set up my server, but I'm going to walk you through setting up a new organization and a new button today. So ZipLine is intended for companies that purchase the AWS IoT Enterprise Buttons, get their own logos printed on them, and then want to ship them out to either their own employees or to their customers. And to do that, you need to be able to give your customers a way to add additional context to the buttons beyond just the single press. They want to know where is the button located physically in the world, what type of equipment is it attached to or being used for, is it for a resupply request, a service request, etc. So to get started, I'm going to set up a new organization, and I can come in and fill in fields here like the customer's name, an identifier maybe in my enterprise backend system, and do some basic branding and logo setup. I've already set up 3 of them today: Central Corp, East Coast, and West Coast Incorporated. Inside East Coast Incorporated, I can look and I can see a couple different offices here, and I can edit or add a new location. You can choose a floor plan, so you can position the buttons in space at the actual location, as well as an address, and drop a pin onto a map. Once you've set up your buttons, you can also do things like configure users or alerts, but the next thing I'll show you is button types and events. In a button type, you want to have a way to bind each button press, either the short press, the double press, or the long press, to a specific action that you want to then take action on. So you can add a button event type, and this allows you to add a name and description. Some example ones we already have here are a service request, a supply request, a clear service request, and a cancel service request. And then what I can do down here is tie those to specific things like a printer or projector or scanner with additional part numbers. So as you can see, a single press will be a service request, a double allows the person to cancel it in case they inadvertently hit it, and a long press allows my service technician to clear the event. So I can come in here and I can edit this, and I can change these bindings between the different button presses to the specific event types. Once I've set those up, I can then come in and I can register alert notifications by single, double, and long, either by email or SMS, and I'll receive that notification. In addition to having the buttons organized here, we also have a special group called unassigned. These are for buttons that have been loaded into the system but not yet associated with a group. So I can come over here and I can hit manage on this button, and I'm going to move it into East Coast and update it. Now when I switch my organization to East Coast, and the reason I'm able to see all these organizations is because I'm set up as a super administrator, you'll notice that our button is here, and I'm going to generate a press event at this time. And it's this button right here that I have highlighted, and we should receive a refresh here shortly. And there we go, 4:10, 4:11 p.m. And I did a single press. And so now I can go further manage this button, and I can say I'm going to put that in the Durham office, and I'm going to make that an out of paper button, and I want to put that on the floor plan at 55x percentage and 75y. And now I have a nice way to correlate my clicks with the Durham office out of paper condition. So I can also visualize this data on a map. I can see my different locations. I can see there's 2 buttons here. I can come over, I can visualize the Durham office, and I can see that we have 2 buttons next to each other, one for the water cooler and one for the paper. And this is my button right here. I can also come over to a dashboard view, and I can visualize button presses over a window of time. I can look at specific button events. I can see presses by type, so I had 1 out of paper and 2 out of water events. And then I can also look by the type of press in the event that some of the button presses are not bound to a specific event type. I can see different time periods from 1 day all the way over the last month, filtering by site and by organization. So what ZipLine allows you to do as a administrator administrator of the buttons is to keep your entire fleet of buttons managed, deployed, and up to date as they go out into the field and help you run your business more intelligently. Thanks for your time today, and hope you'll give us a call to get started with ZipLine.